What a mess. Hey there, so the garden is looking a little crazy today. I've been out here trying to get things kind of buttoned up for fall. I've pulled out a bunch of plants you probably saw in the last video. Today I'm trying to just clean, organize, and prep. I've got a couple of bigger projects that I need to get going here in the next week or so. I'm gonna put the cover back on the greenhouse and get that kind of secured and ready to go. And then I'm also gonna do a lot of like replanting and resowing of seeds because I've had a lot of damage, honestly, by the squirrels, which I am now addressing with like the row covers and everything like that. And I'm gonna try a few maybe pest repellents, but before I can even do any of those projects, I just have to get the garden kind of wrapped up for spring, or not for spring. I'm already ready for spring. For fall, we gotta get the garden kind of wrapped up for fall, move some things around, get some things organized. First off, it's sweeping, which if you have a container garden, you're gonna find that sweeping is one of those tasks that you end up doing kind of a lot. So this is exciting. This is my fig, which it looks like is starting to turn colors. So that might be ripening up soon. I really hope it'll ripen before we get a frost. But what I do with my containers is I just move the container, sweep out underneath it. I find that that's pretty important. All right, so I'm about to do a little bit of garden cleanup that I've been not wanting to do, and that is to take down the banana plant, which is gorgeous, but it's getting close to a frost, and that's gonna kill it, and I need to get these pots cleared out. I do have my hardy banana, which I'm gonna let continue go until it dies back on its own. This is just an annual banana plant, so I'm just gonna cut it down, and there's a couple cabbages that I put in the pot below it, so I'm gonna get those refreshed so they can continue to grow over the winter. And yeah, this is a sad day, but we still have over here the hardy banana, which can continue. Okay, but I just got a text message that the baby is waking up, so I'm going to go check in on her, and we'll see how many days this whole garden refresh takes me, because it might take a while. All right, I'm back out in the garden. I went ahead when I was inside and grabbed my little saw, and I'm gonna use this to cut down the banana tree. It's so hard, but you know, it's only a couple of weeks, so I'm gonna go ahead and chop it down. All right, so now I've got the container, and let me show you this a little bit better. So I've got the base of the banana plant in here, and I think I am just gonna leave it. I'm gonna cut it down a little bit, but then I'm gonna leave it just in here. And I have a couple cabbages. These are stretching a little bit because it's not perfect conditions as far as like sunlight and everything, so they've been stretching because they were under that banana tree, but that's all right. And I'm gonna pull out, this is an Angelonia. Ooh, it's really, let me get my clippers. Okay, so the Angelonia is really stuck in there, and that was a pretty big banana tree, as you could see, and so everything was, well, I'm what I mean to say is the roots have really taken up this pot. And what I will do in the spring is come in here and just empty all of this soil out. But for this fall season, I'm gonna go ahead and leave the soil in here. I have one pansy that I did have planted in here. I've got the 2 cabbages, and what I think I'm gonna do is just put a little more potting soil in the top of this container and then put a couple other violas in here and just let them grow over the winter, and then in the spring I'll do like the full refresh of this pot. But it'll at least make it look a little better for right now. Okay, so I put in, I know it's kind of hard to see in this light, but I put in a bunch of little viola stacks that I had, and now I'm just gonna take the soil and just fill the pot up basically. And as the winter goes on, the root systems will decompose a little bit, so that'll give the violas a bit more space to grow into. But I don't find that like pansies and violas really create that huge of a root system, so I'm not super worried as far as them having like, you know, tons of space. This will probably be all right for them to grow over the winter. So just fill this up with soil, kind of top it off, and then I'll water it in. All right, now I'm just redoing some more containers that had, these ones had, or this one actually had an eggplant in it. Let me see if I can show you. And now I'm just going to put, it had an eggplant in it, and then I put in this Dusty Miller, and I also had this petunia. I'm gonna leave the petunia in, but then I'm just popping some of these pansies in here too. I just went and got like a mix of different pansies, or these are violas actually, not pansies. Violas at the garden center. To the garden center and picked up some beautiful violas. Look at these. Penny Orange Johnny Jump Up, Penny Violet Face, and Deltini Copperfield. These are particularly pretty. So stunning. And this will just add a little bit of, you know, fun color throughout the winter. The petunia is going to die back, but the violas I'm sure will just take over once those petunias die back. And they're such a fun petunia, this like black petunia, that I'm just gonna leave it. And then I'm gonna put, where did I put it? There's the trellis. I'm gonna put this trellis in to add some kind of fun, and it'll also hopefully keep the squirrels out a little bit. But I'm gonna have to put some repellent in here. Hey, there we go. So it is a couple days later, finally back out in the garden, and finally got it pretty much cleaned up. I still need to do a tiny bit of sweeping over in this corner, but I thought I'd show you how it's looking. I also grabbed a dill plant that I needed for a recipe this week, and I thought I would try to just plant the base of this plant in the garden and see if I can get it to grow. But let me show you the cleaned up garden. It's looking so different, but also so nice and fresh. So here we are, the fall garden. Look at this, such a different feel. I did end up putting out one of these row covers just over this section. I thought, like, when I'm out here I can take the row cover off and have all those pretty pots, and then I can cover it again to protect it from the squirrels and such. But yeah, it just looks so different. Everything kind of covered up, but I do still like the look of it, and there's enough pots, I feel like, that it's still, you know, still pretty. And I still have a few flowers. You know, this perennial section is very full. I am gonna stick this dill right in the corner of this bed and just see if I can get it to grow. Not really, you know, too worried if it doesn't grow, but it's just gonna go in this corner. Ooh, lots of worms in here. All right, it's not hardened off or anything, but maybe that'll grow. And it feels so good to have this garden cleaned out. And it's always kind of, you know, this time of year, it starts to be just really nice to have some open space. I love the chaos and the wildness and the kind of whimsy that you get from the summer garden. It's always super fun and amazing to watch how everything grows. Something so beautiful about the pots that are a little bit more contained, and yeah, just, I don't know, all these new like fall winter blooms, so many pretty violas, this pansy over here. Yeah, really like it. There are going to be some things that are going to continue to change. Obviously, those peppers are not frost hardy, and neither are the little calabracoas. So all of that will come out, the gomphrena, and I probably will end up putting in like winter, you know, like green leaves and pine boughs or things like that. We get into more of the holiday season. I want to do some fun things with some greenery and decorate out here a little bit. I intended to do some fall decorations. I intended to kind of get out here and do like Halloween decor, which I still might do, but we're getting really close to the end of the month now, so I don't know if I'm actually going to end up doing it. But at least we are ready for some more fall planting. We are ready to get this garden, I don't know, get this garden going for the winter fall season. So anyways, thanks for hanging out and watching the garden come together. I hope you're having a wonderful day getting out in your garden, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.